The point I was trying to make before I was so rudely interrupted is when it comes to problems that are domestic, family comes together, they put their funds together, and they can buy a big plot where they can live and they don't have to suffer rent. That is what we call the townhome, right? These are the townhomes. We always think of the rural areas as the actual home. At least that's me. So here's a house with 5 bedrooms, one with, two with their own showers, toilets, and so forth, and an extension of a house with at least also 5 rooms, main and, you know, guest house, and that's where you go to sleep. That's where you go to eat. When you go to walk, wherever it is that you go to walk, when the kids grow up there, they're fine. It just really means that certain foundation from there can be expanded upon. For example, someone decides, okay, maybe it's becoming overcrowded or whatever, I'll go buy my own home or whatever that is. And they do that, and the others do that, but still there is the family home. And this is something I've seen a lot of American stars, I can call them. They live like that. There's the mansion, and then the family lives there. They live with their family, and it's not looked upon as this strange thing. It's not. So how is it that we have people who all want to own an individual home that is replicated by most of suburbia, just for status? That's how I see it. It's just for status, just to show, hey, look, I have this, and so forth. I can't comprehend that. That's the whole thing about Rundu Earth. It's it's definitely going to be huge. It's a very big project, bigger than the rock project that I envisioned. And there'll be enough space anyway. And with that, guest house, family, everyone has their own house within the house. They would say, no, this is like living in the village. Well, what's wrong with the way people live in the village? They help each other when there is trouble. There is actual family unity. Problems are resolved by family. There is no big disconnect. So, you decide if a girl comes into your family, right? If she becomes a part of your family, she becomes a part of that becoming a part of the family, becoming a kavamba or something. That also means becoming a family resident, a child of that home. And the connection between the two families, that becomes a connection that's basically held by the union rather than some form of agreement, right? So I hear the plights, and my mind just can't comprehend how people find themselves in trouble, refuse to admit they're in trouble, and refuse or have difficulty asking for help. And you know the amount of proud and preservation of the so-called high dignified life is eroding a lot of the values that make this nation. Separations shouldn't be separations. Family homes should be family homes. And what I see is the whole gender-based violence and all of those situations. They are a merit of that sense of, this is where I should be, this is how I should be, I'm the alpha here, the man or the whatever, and I should be like ABC. And the families are so detached that there is no intervention. I mean, if you think your family member is in trouble, you act, you are troubled too. That's what I expect. And from family, then you grow out to community. Community doesn't and shouldn't come into family. The family is a part of the community. The community can then in turn be a part of a metaphorical family. That's the way I see it. It's just a point I'm making. And yeah, I mean, a family farm, for example, is a family farm, right? So, and that becomes, and the thing about all of this is they are investments in the family, right? You invest in your family, and you invest in your family and think about the future, not worry about the future, but think about the future. There was a point when I was completely in disconnect with how things were, and I was literally worried, like, how can people be so cruel, so selfish, and to the point where they don't want others to succeed, and they literally become a roadblock, a purposeful roadblock put in place by others just because they don't want to see others basically enjoy life. But of course, my spirit got lifted after that, and 2014 and 2016 are completely different, and it was basically because of that. I had to think about the hows and the whys and make a plan, and then think about how that plan would work. And I put myself, I put my all into getting the necessary resources and doing what I could. And I got help, of course, by mentors who were not people who discriminate and incriminate and just basically don't like other people out of spite. And they help me deal with this. And of course, other people also help me deal with that. My mental illness, the depression, and all that, that is something I have had since I was a child, right? So it's not connected to life or whatever. That was something that needed treatment, and I got the treatment that I got because there is, you know, just to explain it a bit, when you lose someone and you're at a funeral, and you will obviously fall into depression, and that's over. But when your life is going good, your life is good, but you're in depression, then you're suffering from depression. There is a difference. There is life that isn't going well and all of that, and people get temporary depression. Then there is real depression. And yeah, why can't I admit that I had that? And it sort of made social issues difficult. Obviously now I'm not really. I got the proper way forward. So yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I had to say in the morning.